Hi Pisces, I hope you guys are doing fantastic. We're going to be doing a he said, she said spread for Pisces, Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus. That is the one that came in first place when I took a little survey online. Let's get you crowning energy from the Black Moon Tarot and get right into this. We're going to be pulling energies for you, for them, fears on each side, and then the outcome with some advice as well. Okay, so let's see what we get as your crowning. Oh, the sun. I like that, Pisces. Very nice. Beautiful. I mean, this is about really just the culmination of everything coming together for you. You guys really working very hard on one level or another, just in the rest of your life, okay? So I feel like a lot of you guys are just really going to be focusing on other aspects of your life right now. Just because you don't want to be involved in a very like a very dramatic situation, you know? You don't want to be caught up in a lot of nonsense, right? But this is a beautiful, progressive, and energetic card when it comes to revisiting things. So I feel like you guys are going to be in a space of really wanting to pull yourself out of, for many of you, I'm getting that you're in a very introspective, almost hermit mode period right now. I feel like the person that you're dealing with, for many of you, you may not be with right now, or if you are, you're in a little bit of a weird space, right? But you're very much in this hermit mode right now, but I'm in this like hermit reverse hermit mode kind of thing. I get this energy from you where you're not really seeking counsel. You're really staying very much to yourself. You're doing you. You're getting up, you're working, you know, you're doing your thing, and you have this pressure of this relationship where you feel like there's this lack of resolution and you just don't want to deal with the drama. But I feel like with the Sun Spirit card in this Mercury retrograde season, anyone who's very directly in your energy field, and I mean, like, I'm not talking about somebody that you were with 10 years ago. The energy field shifts at that point, guys, and it's common sense, like if you just think about it. But somebody who's still very much in your energy field, and you know what that means. This is a beautiful time to revisit things in a healthier way. So I really like that. But let's pull some cards to get some more information about where you're at right now. You know, I do get that feeling of just keeping to yourself, just wanting to do you, just doing really well at work, and you know, dealing with your friends and just everything but, you know what I mean? You're not staying home boo-hooing, but at the same time, I get a very clear feeling that you guys are very not okay on the inside because of this. But let's see what the cards say. Ten of Swords, look, first card out. Ten of Swords, reverse, which means deep emotions, deep feeling of betrayal, deep feeling of hurt, deep feeling of, I can't do this anymore. That cycle, the way it has to be, is done. I don't feel I can have the ultimate utopia with them, and I'm just going to sit and think right now. Feeling defensive. Yeah, thinking you got to go and you're ready. Really, you want to just take a chance in another direction. Really is where you're at right now. Pisces is what I'm seeing here. Okay, so let's just walk it through a little slower. Yeah, so Ten of Swords is about, you know, one sword at a time, over time. And this could just be lies, deception, arguments. A very cyclical nature about this, Pisces. You've been in this cycle with this person where it's like you're together and everything's awesome, and then you break up. And then you're back together and you break up and you're back together, you know, on that hamster wheel. And because of that, you know, that's a really tough energy to navigate in for anybody, right? I mean, and Pisces, you guys are so sensitive, and, you know, you take things very much to heart because you're such beautiful souls. You really, really are. You do so much good for people, and you're so giving. And it's just like, you know what? I just feel this like, are you kidding me? I'm not doing this anymore energy, you know, from you guys. Like, you just gave and you gave and you gave. And yes. Oh my God. I have to tell you, I'm being so pulled by the opposing energy right now. I cannot even tell you. Somebody feels that you were being very dishonest about something. All right, we're going to deal with that when I sweep this. But we have the Four of Wands reversed. The Four of Wands upright is all about the engagement card, marriage, foundation, beautiful celebration. Beautiful celebration, you know. And in the reverse, this is telling me that you don't have the will to push this thing forward anymore because you just don't believe in the ability for you guys to ultimately achieve this Four of Wands energy. And then we have the Four of Swords, which is about you hanging out in your head, on your couch, you know, thinking about everything that's gone on and really trying to figure out the next move. And that is so where Pisces is at. If you guys checked out the astrology tarot that I did, this is very much like a Four of Swords energy time period for you guys, where you're going to be chilling on top of, like, I mean, this is a coffin, right? Because this is, you know, the story of this was a soldier who went away to war and had a coffin made for his family in case he died and his body was sent back. They wouldn't have to deal with that while dealing with the hurt of their death. Is that not such a Pisces thing, right? The guy was probably a Pisces, I'm just saying, you know, because it is such a thoughtful thing. But he's so grateful that he came back alive. He's laying on top of this thing that he created as a just in case kind of thing, and now really trying to figure out his next move. And I use he, she pronouns interchangeably, right? All right, and then we have the Seven of Wands, which is about feeling very defensive over your land, your intentions, your mindset, your desires, what you want, right? I mean, just think that, like, look how big he is compared to the earth that he's manning. This is you really climbing up into your power, Pisces, saying, you know what? I just don't want to have to deal with that anymore. That is so unfair. You know, I've done so much for this person and within the confines of this situation, and I just don't feel like that I've been given, you know, what I deserve. And I just feel like you guys felt very much like you were being very generous. You felt like you were being communicative in the way that you needed. And this was, I'm getting that you feel very much that this is what it got you. It got you the Queen of Cups reverse. And so I just feel like you guys felt like you gave and gave, and that the person didn't have the same level of emotions toward you as you had towards them, the same level of commitment. And it got to a point where you realized you just had to go. Now, I get the feeling that you guys are not in contact right now, Pisces, and I do feel like you are the one who prompted this. But guys, as always with these readings, all the energy can be vice versa. And for those of you who aren't sure what that means, what I'm saying is, for Pisces, if you're cross-watching, this could be your energy, because energy becomes enmeshed when we're in relationships, and there's just no way of deciphering it in a general reading. It's just the way tarot works. Some people may not know that, but this shows me you wanting to leave the situation, even though you're heartbroken. Pisces, you're not happy about this. This is like you just like accepting your losses and just moving on and just trying to figure out your feelings, figure out reality from like what's real, what's not. Where do your emotions lie and where does what happened in reality lie? And I feel like you're going to be prompted to get very honest about something here. I feel like you're going to be in a space, Pisces, where you're going to be pushed to take a chance. You know, now that I went through the cards, I feel this recognition of a cycle being over with an individual, but you wanting a fresh start, you taking a leap of faith. Because look at what we have bookending here. Cycle's over, let's start something new. You don't like the way this person treated you in one area of your life or the other, like one part of the relationship, but there is no doubt that there was such love here for this person, and I don't feel like it's gone. But I feel like there were other things fogging your ability to seriously get in touch with how you really feel about them. I feel like you know that they're your soulmate, Pisces. At least your soulmate. You guys are just learning lessons from each other, if nothing else. Could be a red thread. Doesn't matter. Soul connection is what's important here. Soul connection for sure. And that's messing with you. But I feel like nobody really knows. I don't feel like you're talking to many people about it. That's what's going on with them. They're confused. And they feel sad. They're focusing on the loss and rather than like what's left for them. Let me pull these down a little bit. Yeah. Yeah, they're very stuck in their own head right now with the Eight of Swords. But I feel like they're coming out of it, actually. Ooh, and they got the Sun. And you got the Sun as a crowning. Oh my God, and the Ace of Swords. All right. Listen, Pisces, this person loves you. They just do. They love you. They do not want you guys to be over at all. They're very confused about what happened. They're focusing on, right now, on the pain of dealing with the loss of the relationship. And they're having a really hard time looking at the good. Because right now, the pain is very, and the disappointment is very fresh in them, right? It's still very fresh, but they're starting to come out of it because the Eight of Swords in the reverse is, Eight of Swords is always about self-imprisonment. It's that place we put in our headspace, right? Where it's just ruminating at 3 o'clock in the morning over and over again, right? Not like the Nine of Swords energy. That is the 3 a.m. cup. The Eight of Swords is being so terribly trapped in our own mind that it's so hard for us to even process the pain or the good or anything like that. But I feel like they're coming out of that for sure. And they're just feeling really, really ready to open up. They really want to give you their cup. They're very ready. I feel like there was a massive, massive lack of communication in some way. Or this could just be you don't want to be in the relationship anymore, Pisces. You just don't want them in the way that you feel like you want a person. And they're really hurting about this, but they're ready. They are ready to give their cup to somebody. Because with the Eight of Swords in reverse, this shows healing to me. This shows acknowledging the disappointment and disillusionment, but accepting reality. Them going into a space of understanding that it is what it is and that they're coming out of it and they're ready for love. Now, you guys are going to, we get the Five of Swords energy. Now, because this is them, they are fighting hard with themselves. Could be fighting with you if you guys are talking, right? Because this is a general reading. But at the very least, they are fighting with themselves. And they're fighting to figure out what was real and what was not real in your relationship. Because the swords are truth. And I feel like they're in this internal battle trying to get to the truth. And I feel like they don't feel like they know what the truth is because the Star card is the truth. It's angelic support. It's divine. We have the support of the Seven Sisters with these stars and all of that. But it's the truth. And in the reverse, this tells me that they're in this very pensive state, having this very huge argument with themselves, trying to figure out what was real, what wasn't real, what was, and just really trying to decipher just the truth. Then we have these two incredible cards. Oh my gosh. Beautiful. I mean, because the Ace of Swords, it's all about the truth. And the Sun is just ultimate utopia. It is beautiful communication, commitment, building, having what you need, doing the right thing. It doesn't mean perfect. But it means the path that you're on is the right one, right? So I do feel like very much that this is a very deep soul connection for sure. And I feel like there is a lack of communication, a miscommunication that went on here, Pisces, but I feel like you guys are going to be talking about it. I feel like I need some more information about the Star reverse and then the Sun. I want like some information about the bridge. All right, somebody's going to be reaching out to somebody and just sharing their heart. And just saying, I want this new start. It's the Ace of Cups. I want this new start with you. Sometimes it's just as simple as that. Like that's what really matters. Then you work it out from there. Because if you have the Ace of Cups and you have the Ace of Swords, come on. You have the love and you have the truth. Everything else falls into place from there. This person that you're dealing with, Pisces, they love you. And they want to reach out to you. I feel like they don't know how. Or if they know how, they are fearing rejection. Yep. Fearing rejection. Let's get some fears. Let's get some fears. Speaking of fears, let's get what your fears are, okay? See what's happening with you guys. 2 of Wands, yeah. You're just afraid to make a decision. Oh. Pisces, are you afraid of being bored with this person? Are you afraid of certain qualities that they possess becoming an issue for you down the road? I mean, it's okay to admit that to yourself. It's better to admit that to yourself and get to the reason for it, you know? Why you might feel like that. The 2 Wands is just about, okay, you know, I have the will to move forward. You know, it's only the 2, so it's like I got the world in my right hand, I got the will in my left, I feel all this passion and motivation, and I just really want to open up this next chapter of my life, right? But you're very scared because you're in a weird place with this person, and I feel like you want it with this person, but at the same time, I feel like you're afraid. I know that's such a lame word, bored, right? Bored is such a lame word, but that is with this, and I feel like you're afraid of becoming bored in a situation. I feel like you're afraid that you're not going to ultimately be happy with this person in the long haul. And that's something you need to look at. Like, Pisces, this is no shade on you whatsoever. But listen, honestly, but you need to get to the root of, are you loving someone to say that you love them as a for now kind of thing? And as an up to a certain point in the relationship, and then once it kind of gets into that more deeper commitment where there aren't so many bells and whistles and all of that, that you just don't want to deal with that. You like the excitement of the newness and you're not willing to live without that newness. You just get bored too easily. You kind of want to flint from space to pace, but at the same time, you have very real deep feelings for this person. And I feel like it's messing with you, you know, and I feel like you're afraid of all of this. And you're just afraid that it's not real. I mean, the Queen of Swords reverse is about there not being truth. You are afraid that somebody is not going to be faithful to you or what you need them to be. This is a deep fear that you have with the Empress reverse. The fear is that what you build with this person is not going to come to fruition. You're not going to be able to build with them. The Empress is the mother of the zodiac, of the tarot. She's perpetually pregnant. She's always got a baby in her belly that she's growing, and then she gives birth and she does it all over again, right? So, I mean, metaphorically speaking, this is the energy of building something together, and then when you reach that, then you plant something else and you build something else. And I feel like you really want that, but you don't feel like you can have that. But Pisces, I have to go back to this. Are you just trying to convince yourself of that? Are you trying to convince yourself of that? Because I feel like there's a part of you that you're not being completely honest with yourself about and with them about. And with this Judgment card, that it's in your fear. You are fearing that they are not going to accept you for exactly who you are. And at the same time, you're afraid of not being able to accept them for who they are. So there's this element of fear of being accepted, being forgiven for not being a certain way, for sure. Page of Swords, again, this fear of starting this new cycle of truth with them. There's something about them that you don't trust, Pisces, but you need to ask yourself if it's real. Because we do have the Lovers card, and I do feel like when you guys do communicate, there is going to be the shadow side of your personalities coming out. But the fact that it's here, I think, is very hopeful. With the guidance of Archangel Raphael and the Sun, this Lover's card can certainly be turned upside down and not become a fear anymore. But I feel like this is your fear is having the argument evolve into like a devolving, where you guys are just yelling and insulting and the shadow sides of yourself are coming out. And you just don't want to deal with that. You just don't want to deal with that. And you're just scared you're not going to be able to have this ultimate utopia with them, this ultimate happiness. I mean, the Ten of Pentacles is just such a positive card. You know, this is about attainment, deepening a commitment and connection and having what you need. All the Pentacle energy, so emotional, physical, mental connection, resources, everything, you know. But because this is in your fear, like you really want it and you're afraid you're not going to have it. But you need to get in touch with how real are these fears. How real are they? Because I don't know. I mean, I didn't get a tower. I didn't get the devil. I didn't get a lot of the cards that would normally indicate I didn't get Emperor reverse. In the I didn't get the narcissist energies, the party boy or party girl kind of thing. I'm not getting those kind of energies. So I'm just wondering, and how positive it was, how much love I feel like they have for you. Let's see their fears. Their fears are not having the Ace of Cups with you. They're afraid of fighting too. They're afraid of your ego. They're afraid of not feeling supported. They're afraid of something surrounding money with you as well, Pisces. Yeah, I mean, this is pretty clear. They're afraid of not having this new emotional beginning of this next phase with you guys. They're afraid of arguing with you. The Five of Wands. The Five of Wands. I mean, they got the Five of... You got the Five of Swords, rather, and they Five of Wands. Those are just two, nasty types of fights, you know what I mean? It's just nasty. I know you say it's like trying to stab each other in the dark, or through the fog. Strength reverses ego. So I feel like they're very concerned about having to deal with and mitigate some sort of battle of the wills, battle of the ego. Six of Pentacles is about really being supportive of each other and having what you need mentally, physically, emotionally. And, very much in the resource realm. Because this is a fear, I'm getting very heavy, resource, money kind of vibe. So there is some sort of insecurity surrounding money with them when it comes to you. Then we have the King of Wands, and, as a fear, I feel like they're just very afraid that if you guys reconnect, you're going to want everything your way or the highway, and that's just really not going to be okay with them. So I just, they're afraid to give you their cup for that reason, because look, we have the Knight of Cups upright, and then the Knight of Swords in reverse. So to me, these two together are oh my God, I really love them. I really, but I don't know if I'm willing to come forward and be honest about how I feel, right? Because I feel like they feel like they're dealing with your ego, and they're afraid that you're not going to feel the same. And they're just afraid of this new beginning with you. They're afraid that it's not going to happen. The Ace of Wands is this is a sensual, beautiful, willing new start. And this is very much what they want, but they feel like they're not going to have it with you. That is the fear. But let's see what ends up happening. Let's do the Arcanum. Let's do the Arcanum Tarot for this one, okay? Get some outcome energies, please, Spirit. Outcome energies for Pisces. I just feel like you guys are on this different pages, right? You just bad communication. Something happened. Bad communication here. Outcome. All right. End of a cycle. Yeah. All right. So you're having the end of a cycle. You don't. Okay, Pisces. The Eight of Wands reverse is you just are too tired to fight for this anymore. And something about this relationship has just stressed you out way, way too much. And you need to move, at least temporarily, to a healthier headspace in order for you to, in order for you to have this Ace of Cups energy, So I feel like you're not ready to get back with this person. And then we have the Hierophant reverse, okay? Yeah, so we have the Death reverse. So, Pisces, I feel like you really hurt someone. We have the Hierophant reverse and the Death reverse. Now, the Hierophant reverse is you know, their moral compass being a little crooked right now, and then probably getting some bad advice from the wrong people, but them not following their highest level of intuition. And I feel like they're reacting out of like some sort of hurt, but they're recognizing that they just need to move on. The Three of Wands, they need to move on. They need to figure out what their next step is, you know. And with the King of Wands, they understand that they need to be in charge of their own destiny. And they're going to be in charge of making this happen for themselves with this willingness. And the Death reverse, this is a Scorpionic energy, and we are in Scorpio. And this is a regenerative energy, though, where I think this is a beautiful energy to rebuild something, because just as it's an ending, it's equally a new beginning. And it is with the blessing of the Pope and the Sun and the typical Rider-Waite. And this is about trying to create a new narrative, right, for their life. And I feel like they're in a space of, if it's not going to happen with you, then they need to move on. And I feel like they're just not going to be willing to wait. And we need more energies here, please. Just give me some more information. Nine of Cups, Five of Wands, Ace of Pentacles reverse, the Emperor reverse. Pisces, the Nine of Cups is about wish fulfillment, but there's going to be a lot of fighting to get there. And there's going to be a delay in you guys being able to have this new chapter. But this Emperor reverse, this is like very narcissistic energy, but I feel it's at least qualities. It doesn't have to be like the actual disorder. But I feel like that's connected to the Five of Wands, where you guys are going to be doing a lot of finger pointing. It's going to be a lot of finger pointing. A lot of finger pointing. Then we have the Three of Swords talking about the pain that's been, yes, the pain. And we get the Four of Cups again, and the Seven of Swords, which is all about gaslighting and deflection and bastardizing somebody's words. And, you know, I never said that. Yes, you did. You're crazy. No, you're crazy. You have a problem. No, you're the one with the problem. Three of Swords can be a third party energy. I don't know, Pisces. Maybe you have a third party in your energy. Well, then we have the Four of Cups again, going back to this idea of, you know, is it bored? Am I bored? Are they going to be able to be what I need? But the Hangman energy reverse, this is about reflecting on a past relationship or on a person in a way, though, that's not totally healthy, where you're going to end up being more the victim than the victor in the situation. So let's get some final advice energy, please. Advice for Pisces. Advice for Pisces. Pisces, Nine of Swords. Get out of your head. Get out of your head. Knight of Wands. Stop being stubborn, because this person is your soulmate and you should go after them. Honestly, this is very clear. Is Pisces going to work this out? I'm not honoring reversals. Give me 3 cards, please. Five of Cups. Queen of Wands. Five of Pentacles. Okay, so we have 2 no cards and a yes card. So I just feel like this is you owning your own power. You don't want to revisit this because you just don't feel like you have the emotions and the support that you need in order to make this happen. And you know what you want, and you know you want that Ace of Cups for yourself. And you're very motivated to make that happen. But you're confused. You want to give your heart to somebody. Pisces, there's got to be some justice here, I have to tell you. Some justice needs to be had. Whether you stay with this person or not, there needs to be a balancing of the scales here. Two of Swords, there's confusion. You're at cross purposes with yourself. So you're saying out of one side of your mouth that you want to just leave this person and start fresh, but a whole big part of your heart is still with this person. But I feel like you're not looking at a certain aspect of yourself. You're not looking at a certain aspect of yourself honestly enough that you need to be honest with yourself, because you have this King of Cups energy and you have the Sun as your crowning. You have all of the energy to support you if you only get honest with yourself about yourself and this relationship. Pisces, that is what I have for you. That is what I have. I mean, it's a beautiful energy. You just got to be honest with yourself. That's it. All right. See you guys next time. Thank you.